Hello, everybody, and welcome to Amara Realty. It's always a pleasure to be speaking to you, and I'm always very, very excited to come and give you all the information that we are doing as Amara, and all the good things that we have. And I just want to take this opportunity, first of all, to welcome you into 2025, the year of the Lord, the year of big things, the year of revival, yani the year of all the blessings, kuja double, double, double. And today I am standing right outside Jewel Complex, which is the headquarters of Amara Realty. And I just want to give you, a lot of people have been talking about Amara. And one thing that is consistent, come with me. One thing that has been very consistent about it is that the fact that Amara Realty is actually very, very young. Being that we'll be celebrating our 4th-year anniversary this year in February, well, it only goes to attest what God can do and what God can do, especially when you put your plans to and dedicate your plans to the Lord. So one thing people have been asking, how has it been possible for Amara to get to that point, and more so even for Madam Jane to be very, very, very successful? Now, because Madam Jane is someone who has a lot of wealth in wisdom and knowledge, and all the things that you need to do in order for you to better your future. Today is just a talk. We are going to be having a talk with her so that we can get to know who is Jane and what has attributed to her being this successful. So come with me to Amara Realty's office. So thank you once again for joining us, and I am so excited to have this conversation with you, Madam Jane. And the reason why we are having this conversation is because of one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people have seen how Amara has grown,
Yes.
and of course, Kuja on videos, we always attest, and it is true, we always attest our glory and our achievements to God, because it has been a journey of faith.
It has
But
been.
the most important about what people are asking is, what are the secrets? You see? And before that, I just want us to get, first of all, to understand who Madam Jane is. Perhaps it's in who she is that has made the progress, the company get to this point. And today is just getting to know you. You tell us a brief history about yourself, how has the journey come about, and all that to this point that you've gotten. So maybe perhaps, Madam Jane Nani.
Okay. Number one,
Yes.
I am a believer.
Amen.
And for me, that has been the anchor of what I have ever done since I became a believer. And that was when I was 20 years ago. I mean, when I was 20 years old. That's when I came to know the Lord. And it's been a great journey. In fact, I normally say, when I gave my life to Christ at the age of 20, I used to ask myself, where was I those 20 years when I didn't know Him?
Yes.
Because the life before and the life after was like day and night.
Different.
Yes, yes. The amount of joy that I felt, the amount of clarity in my life, my life got meaning.
Yes.
After that experience or encounter with God. So that has been my anchor all through my working life. That is what I have really depended on. Even the coming to start Amara Realty, that has been our bedrock. Let me put it that way. So that is me. That is the first and foremost. So when you see Jane, you need to see somebody who really loves God and is loved back by God.
True.
And one who has received so much love and mercy from God. Every time I look at myself in the mirror, I say to myself, Jane, you have received so much mercy. So that's me in a nutshell. But above that, I'm a mother of one, beautiful girl, amazing girl.
I have met her.
My anchor.
And
she keeps me on my toes. My vision bearer and my accountability partner.
Yes.
And some people may think, seriously, a 10-year-old being your accountability partner? Yes, she is, because she's the one who reminds me and asks me, you said we are doing ABCD. How far are you on that? Yeah.
Wow.
After you start something and you feel like, hey, I'm really doing well, she's like, okay, what next? You know, she keeps me on the go, on the move, focused on my dreams, on the vision. She actually tells me, I want to see your vision board.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
We sit down with her and we look at the vision board and she's like, okay, but I don't think this is very ambitious, ma'am. I think you can do
What?
better. So
What?
that's a kind of girl I have in the house, and she's really
Amazing.
amazing. So I'm a mother of one again, and professionally, I'm an accountant, uh, certified accountant. I've worked for almost 20 years before I started Amara Realty. And besides that, I hold a master's degree as well. So yes, nimesoma kiasi.
Hiyo si kiasi. Ukisikia mtu anasema masters, kidogo kidogo tuanze kukuita doctor kama JD.
Niko karibu.
Amen to that. Now, I do not
Yes.
know how many of you involve your children in what you do, but I'm so glad that you do that, because now it gives them, wanaanza kuona the vision of the future. And it is something very important. I was reading somewhere about vision, the power of vision. Because there's a difference, because these eyes that we have, they can see and they can look. So what we pray for is that God give me give me the vision to see further than I can look.
Exactly.
So when you give your kids that, it gives them that opportunity to see the future and to start planning. And I would encourage everybody else who is out there to be like Madam Jane. Now, you've mentioned something very important about being in the accountant world, and also being, having worked over 20 years. And I would imagine somebody who has worked for that long has put their foot in right there into, because I believe maybe Kitoka, you are very high at that level.
Correct.
And I just want to ask, how were you able to transition? Did you always know that you always do real estate? What was the driving power? Yes.
Okay, let me start by saying I'll answer a few questions in all that you have said.
Yes.
In my 20s, I knew I would do real estate.
Wow.
And I kept writing it. And that's why we said the power of vision. Every year I would write in my resolutions, I will start a real estate company. Every single year I would do that. I didn't have clarity as to what that meant, what I needed to do, but I never lost focus because I kept writing, and I kept, that dream keeps alive in your heart and it keeps burning until now it came to fruition. That's number one. Number two, when I was in employment, and that is what really prepared me for what I'm doing today. When I was in employment, I started as just an accountant, a management accountant, a finance manager, head of finance and procurement, head of finance, procurement and operations, to a GM. So that journey that I did helped me to be where I am today. Because I normally tell even you people, I tell you my staff, is that when you do something, do it with your best. Do it at your best. Do it as if you're doing it for the Lord. I worked in that company, the one I worked last for 15 years. I worked as if, for me, my service was to God, first and foremost, before my employer. I did it with so much hard work, conviction, everything. I carried everything. And I would get home and I'm like, today, Jane, you've given everything. You don't have anything left. You didn't have to sleep and reload for tomorrow. Yani, I would give absolutely everything. That has really helped me because, God is not a robber. He's a rewarder because he sees what you've done for others. And when you start yours, he will bless it. And I think that's what I write on today. The amount of work I put in. I remember one of my directors would say that I behave like the company is more mine than theirs.
Yes. Wow.
Because of the work I would put in, the passion that I had. So that helped me. And, because I needed to know every single detail about the company. And if you asked me about anything about any department, it was like this. Yes. And I got involved.
Wow.
I made sure that I would not allow anything to go, it's not going in the right direction, I would not keep quiet, and I would not let it pass my desk.
Wow.
So everything had to be done the way it's supposed to be done. So that really, really did help me to be who I am today. Also, one of the things I learned during that time was cash flow management. Cash is king. In the real estate, more so, cash is king. When money comes, you have to be able to distinguish this money is for what.
Yes.
You can't get paid, and right now we're building, we're doing a construction. You can't get money and decide you're going to do something else with that money. Remember that money may be in your books, in your bank accounts, but it's not yours. So you have to be a good steward of what God has brought your way. So that's one of the things that I learned, and very early in life, the employment opportunities that I got, they helped me develop and grow in that part.
Wow. It's so powerful to hear you say that. But now I believe most of the people are thinking, yes, I've been maybe in a space, I have had this dream, I've held it for so long. Was it easy for you to transition? And how did you know it was the perfect time to transition?
I will say, when you in employment and the pay is not bad, it's very hard to transition. It actually took me some time. I remember when I used to keep telling myself I'll retire at. And even I used to put my password. Even my password used to be retire at 40.
Oh, I love the songa.
Inaanza kusonga ilisonga na mwaka mmoja tu.
Oh, okay.
So when I said retire at 40, it didn't happen. So it happened when I was 41.
Wow.
So, and it wasn't an easy thing, because there is that comfort of having a paycheck.
Some security.
You know you're going to get X amount of money at the end of the month, so your bills are taken care of. So you're really secure in that space. But it reached a point where I felt I had done enough. Whatever service I had given was just enough. And by God's design, He had my prayer and things worked out. And yeah.
So God tells you. Now.
Yes. No, and the day I knew I was leaving, it was my happiest day. You know,
there was no looking back.
There was no looking back. I do remember meeting some people, influential people, and would ask me, Jane, if we gave you a job, if you got a job, would you take it? And I was like, hell no, I'm done.
I am
employment, I am done.
I am done, and I'm done. And I'm going to start the real estate company that I was thinking about, which is now Amara Realty. And that is where we are at right now.
And I want to mention, during that time, you also, if you have a dream and you know you're headed in a certain direction, it's good to start acting on it before you jump ship. For me, I started knowing the real estate business years before I actually retired. So by the time I was retiring or leaving employment, I knew exactly what I'm getting into. I knew the kind of challenges I might face. I knew what to do, whom to interact with, how to build the brand. Wow. So I knew all those things. So by the time I was leaving, I was not going to start something from scratch. I was going to start something or to build onto something that I already had a feel. How does it feel? Yes, I had not started the company yet, but I knew this is exactly what I want to do.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That is such an inspirational story. You know, all I'm hearing right now is that, you know, every step that you take, God first.
Yeah.
And I think 90%, we have, us only doing 10%. 90% is being done by God. And at this point, of course, people have heard your story. Perhaps people are wondering, you know, okay, me, I'm at this point in life, I would want to do something else this year. I have set my goals, being 2025, and we are just at the beginning. What is your advice to all those people listening to you?
My advice, because this has really worked for me, is when you set out on a journey, know where you're going. So number one, do you have your vision board? Do you have your goals written down? Number two, are they very specific? You know, you want to achieve A, B, C, D by the end of this year. Number three, are they time bound? Do you have a timeline when you want to achieve that. I know exactly what I want to do in quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So when I stand at the end of the year and I say we've achieved ABCD, it's because I have put it down. And number 4, those things that you've written down that are time bound, that are specific, are they challenging you, or it is things that you are able to achieve like this? Because if they are, then you've not stretched yourself. So you need to stretch yourself. And this is where thinking big comes in. Remember, what we think is what we speak, it's what we become. So my challenge to you is, watch your thoughts, listen to your words, and you will become exactly what you say about yourself. So I wish you a great 2025, and we'll have these conversations every so often because I want you to succeed.
Wow, wow. I told you Jane has a lot of knowledge that you need to see. Shamba tu anauzanga. She has a lot of knowledge, and us as staff members, we're also very, very much impacted by her character, by how things here at Amara Realty run. They've also impacted us individually in our own personal lives, and we want you as well to be impacted as well. I remember one time you said, like for me this year, what you said about having a goal, and it's not something simple. I love one time you put it as have a dream that is too big for you. It is a God-sized dream.
Yes.
God-sized dream.
That when you achieve it, you know that it is God.
It is God who has achieved it.
Yes.
It is by your power you would not have been able to. Because me, I can say, me as Kelvin, I will do this. I will go and do this and that, and I'll be able to achieve it. Because that is not a goal that, needs worth, is worth of this year. Have a God-sized dream. And by the end of the year, utatukumbuka. Now, because we'll be having these conversations more and more, thank you so much for joining us today. And I believe everybody has gotten something. If you would love to connect here personally with Madam Jane, perhaps you can give them your contact.
0722-748-475.
Yes, and of course, you can always visit us here at our offices. We are Jewel Complex, second floor. We will be happy to serve you or even have a conversation about where you intend your future to go, or what are your future dreams, or what are your future plans, and we'll be able to guide you in the best way that we can. As we say here at Amara Realty, come
for your peace of mind.
Amara Realty, for your peace of mind.